if you've been training inside of a gym 4 to 5 days per week and you kind of started to eat healthy, but you're not quite getting to that point where you're seeing the belly fat go down and you just feel like nothing that you tried has worked, in this video, I'm gonna solve just that for you. I'm gonna show you exactly what you should be eating for your nutrition and your diet, exactly what your training should look like, and how to keep yourself accountable and how to change your mindset to actually achieve the results long term. All right, my name's Casey. I'm an online fitness coach, professional bodybuilder, et cetera, et cetera. And I've done this quite a few times for myself and also for my clients. So I know a little bit about what I'm talking about. All right, so we're just gonna get right into it, right? Number one is gonna be the nutrition. The biggest piece that I see guys mess up is that they need a special diet. A good rule of thumb is if the diet has a name to it, it is not a good diet to follow, especially for sustainability and longevity. All right, so the only diet that you should be following is a diet that contains whole food ingredients. So one single ingredient per macronutrient. So macronutrients as in your protein, your carbs, and your fats. Your proteins being lean protein sources. Chicken thighs, chicken breasts, lean ground beef, ground turkey, fish, eggs, etc., etc. Your carbohydrates being jasmine rice, brown rice, red potatoes, white potatoes, cream of rice, sweet potatoes, foods like that. And then your fats, which would be extra virgin olive oil, butter, and most of the food that you eat is going to have added fats inside of it. So you don't necessarily have to worry too much about adding so much fat in, right? But if you are lacking, obviously like avocados, your butters, olive oil, things like that is going to help you. Almonds, nuts, peanut butter is your fat sources. But anyway, your diet should consist of those types of foods within your caloric deficit. So if you don't know what a caloric deficit is, it's basically where you're eating less than your maintenance calories. So your maintenance calories are the calories that you eat currently to maintain the body weight that you're at right now. So you need to be eating less than that. Let's just say your maintenance calories is 3,000 as a guy. If you want to be in a caloric deficit, you should be eating anywhere between 500 to 1,000 calories under your maintenance. So that would put us at, let's just say 500 calories. That would put us at 2,500 calories within our deficit. So what you should do from there is just take all of the foods that I just listed off and put those within MyFitnessPal to track your calories and make sure that those food ingredients add up to 2,500 calories. All right, so the diet piece is simple. It has to be adjusted over time as you start to see the scale go down. Obviously, your BMR, your basal metabolic rate, is going to be changing throughout the process, so you're constantly going to have to make updates to it. There's also several different ways that you can structure your meal plan according to your day that just sets you up for overall success. If you're someone who works a busy career, you're on the go, let's say a truck driver, or if you're a businessman, right? Those are completely different plans for these different career fields, and you need something personalized for your exact day-to-day. And some people's days aren't the same every single day. So it's important to keep that in mind when you're going and thinking about your nutrition. What are you gonna do on the go or on the fly, or maybe you forgot to meal prep some food for the week or the day. You have to be thinking about these things subconsciously. And it's always gotta be on your mind to be prepared, because when you when you fail to prepare, you just set yourself up for misery. And that's how you constantly set yourself back and feel like you have to start over on Monday. It's definitely not necessary, right? So framework number 2 is going to be the training. Training should be very simple, very basic, just like the nutrition piece, right? When I had to drop 30, 35 pounds to compete in my bodybuilding competitions, right, I wanted to make things as simple as possible to make sure that my conscious wasn't always just thinking about what fancy workouts should I be doing or what makes everything more difficult, right? So the same thing with the nutrition, the training also has to be simple. Stick to the bare basics. The basics is what's gonna help you develop your physique in the beginning, and then as you start to progress and get better with years of training and consistency, then you can start to tweak things here and there, right? But the only thing that you really need to remember when it comes to training is you should be training every single muscle group, right? So that is splitting your body up between two parts, your upper body and your lower body. So I'll pull up a sample training split that you can follow. It's an upper body, lower body split. It's only 4 days per week, and it can get you some really amazing results as long as you just stick to the program for a minimum of 8 to 12 weeks, because you need to be doing the same lifts every single week to see progress over time, because we want to maximize the amount of muscle that's built while also losing the body fat and working on specifically like the target areas that you want to work on. If you're a woman, you probably want to grow your shoulders and you want to build nice glutes. For guys, it's usually big chest, big arms, simple. Right? So you would emphasize more of those muscle groups. Training doesn't have to be difficult. You just need a plan that is consistent and works for you, right? 45 minutes to an hour is all you need, 4 days per week. When it comes to cardio can be very complex for most people, but the same thing applies to cardio, just like I mentioned training. It needs to be simple. It needs to be something that you can do long-term and progressive overload with. And when I say progressive overload, that means you should be able to add more intensity or longer duration over time. My best method for losing body fat, specifically belly fat, is going to be walking on an incline treadmill. Why do I choose walking on an incline treadmill? It's because pretty much every single other piece of cardio is going to be too taxing on your body to recover from to do it the next day. For instance, if we talked running, we talk Stairmaster, those are really high impact, and they're much harder to recover from. So you want to do something that is simple yet effective, and walking on an incline for 20, 30, 40 minutes daily can be the one thing that really changes for you, as long as it's paired with the proper nutrition structure as well as the training structure. Cardio has to be made simple, just like everything else. As you can see, like, everything has a theme. I'm making it to where everything is not, oh, you have to have all these different ingredients for the nutrition plan and do this and that. And it's just a lot. It's just a lot, right? Same thing with the training. There are so many different ways that you can structure a training program. It's crazy. Even to where I'm at right now, where I've been training in the gym 12 years, I like to keep things simple. Because a lot of times I don't have time to be in the gym for long hours during the day, and I'm just always on go. So I just need to be able to get in, get out. I need my nutrition to be get in, get out. Something that I can just throw in the air fryer, or I can just make really quick, throw it in the microwave. On the go pickups. All right, these are things that you have to be thinking about throughout every single day, right? The third framework that I wanted to share is the mindset and accountability when it comes to achieving your goals long term. So that just starts with uncovering the why. Like, why do you actually want to lose the body fat? Like, why do you want to lose the 30 or 40 pounds or the gut that you've been having for the past 10 years? It has to be bigger than you just wanting to lose it because it bothers you. For some guys, it might be a little deeper. Maybe it's, I want to finally be able to go out at night and not have to pull and tug on my shirt because my stomach is protruding through my shirt. You know, because it's causing you to have a lack of confidence. Maybe your sex life isn't where it needs to be. There are things that are deeper than you just wanting to lose 30 pounds. So you need to uncover that why. Another good example would be, I'm a dad, right? My son is about to be 6 years old. And one thing about his dad is he knows that his dad is in shape and he takes care of himself. And this is just my take on this, but if your kids don't want to be like you when they grow up, then you might be doing something wrong, right? My son, I have a home gym here. He likes to come in the home gym and, work out and he's not really doing what he's supposed to do, but he's in there and he sees what I'm doing and he sees me putting in hard work. So guess that guess what that's going to cause him to do once he gets old enough? He's going to say, oh, my dad looks good. He's in shape. He takes care of himself. He's strong. I want to be just like that. And I think that should be every man's goal. Why not? You want your kids to be like you if you're a good person, right? And you take care of yourself. So number one is uncovering your why. Like, why is this important to you? And then the accountability piece is taking honest progress photos, quizzing yourself every single week. Like, what went good, what went bad, logging the data, keeping track of your progress, waist measurements. Maybe it's you measure by putting on a certain pair of shorts or pants to see how much progress you've made. You have to be constantly tracking this over time. That way you can make updates to the protocols, right? The training, the nutrition, and et cetera. Because if you're not, you're just shooting in the dark. Imagine trying to walk from where I currently live, or driving rather. I live in Arkansas. That's like trying to drive to California without a GPS when we have access to a GPS. Like, why wouldn't you use the GPS? You have to track the data, tracking your calories, tracking your lifts, tracking your mood, your digestion, your sleep. These are things that a lot of guys don't really think about, and accountability is really like the biggest piece that most guys struggle with, because the diet, the nutrition, it all can be very simple. I think a lot of guys just make it more complex. And it just comes down to holding yourself accountable, which can be hard a lot of times. You know, there's a reason why coaches have coaches, and the people that do it at the top level, they also need coaches. They don't like to, they'd rather have something on paper to just execute instead of having to constantly think of the plan, think of the updates, think of, oh, this photo, I feel like there's no change between the photos. And there might be, but you're just hard at seeing that because you're biased to your own results, or sometimes you can get into your head about it, right? So accountability is the biggest piece when it comes to actually losing the body fat. You have to hold yourself accountable and realize how bad the situation that you're in. You have to sit in that. You would be surprised, the clients that I get to sign up with me and they first start, they say, man, it was hard to take those first photos. Like, it was really hard for me to like actually look at that and submit them to somebody. And I'm like, yeah, man, it's supposed to be hard, but you took the first step, and this is what it takes. This is what it takes. You have to sit in it and let it simmer and realize how bad your situation has gotten.